My name is Evan Beach. I am with Campbell Wealth Management in Alexandria, Virginia. In 2011, somewhere around there, I brought on a client who, husband and wife, I think it was 2 kids, 2 grandkids at that point. And she had stopped working. He was about a year from retirement. And this is a guy that really worked to retire. He wasn't loving what he was doing. He really wanted to get out. And so he said, all right, a year from now, I'm going to be done with this. He just wanted to make sure all his ducks were in a row. He wasn't making any mistakes. So we walked him through a financial plan. I remember doing the insurance analysis and thinking, this guy probably doesn't need life insurance. He's only got a year left of work. But I did an analysis and there was a shortfall there. They had some debts there that they needed to cover, a mortgage and some lifestyle things. And so there was a gap, maybe $300,000. And I said, look, I explained it to the clients, you should probably cover this. Here's what it's for. And to their credit, they actually did it. They bought a 10-year term policy, $300,000. He did retire the day he said he was going to retire, which never happens. 6 months later, he passed really unexpectedly. So brain tumor, I think it was 3 weeks and he was gone. And so it became the retirement that she never would have anticipated or envisioned, obviously, but she could financially support. And I can say as a person who was kicking off that income, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have supported that lifestyle without that policy. And it so easily could have been kind of glossed over, but we did the work and it made an impact. So I stole this in advance. I'm not taking credit, but I would reassure myself that it's all going to work out even better than how I thought it would. So, I came into this industry straight out of school. I didn't know if it was going to be the industry I'd be in forever. I guess you can never say that for sure, but it's been a while now. And if I had had that reassurance, I probably would have taken bigger risks than what I did. And I took some risks. The other thing I would say is that there are no shortcuts. You come out of college and you think, oh, here's this golden path to financial success. This is the best career in the world. And I do think it's a great career for me. But a lot of that is just doing the things that others aren't willing to do. And there are no shortcuts. I still think about that every day. There's no shortcuts. Yes, my motivation has changed. I think the original motivation, so this is more common in the insurance industry as far as I know, is I was sold this industry. So we sat around a big mahogany table at this high rise in Philadelphia. It was a nice view like this. And the guy talked about how much money you could make if you brought on some astronomical number of clients. And that wasn't really my takeaway. He said one thing that I still remember. He said, this is a numbers business in which you have to be smart enough to understand the numbers, but more than that, it's a people industry. And those who will be most successful are the people that can build and maintain relationships. And that was kind of my hook. I was studying statistics, and I liked that work. But if you'd said, okay, you can sit and crunch numbers or you can go out and make friends and maintain those friendships, which would you rather do? For me, it's all about the people. So that was the initial motivation, and I thought it would be a good fit. And it was. The motivation at this point, I would say, is we work with people 55 and older. And so the motivation is really time. My feeling is that when you get to retirement, it's a race against the clock. It's how do I do the most fulfilling things in the time I have left on this earth? And so you hear people say this all the time. If I could, or I would give it all back to spend 1 day or 1 week with this person, that's really what I'm trying to give people, is that time, relieving the stress, delivering the expertise, but giving back that time as a result of those things so they can do the things they want to do and they have a check that comes in the mail every month. I guess thank you for your trust. And that may sound like a kind of a canned answer, but it's without the client's trust, all of that trust, this industry doesn't exist. We don't deliver the advice that they need, but there has to be that trust factor before they pull the trigger and they engage us. So if that didn't happen over and over and over again, I'm not sitting here answering these questions. And if I were to do it in this town, in anticipation of precipitation, stack chips for the rainy day. That's a Jay-Z quote. When you do financial planning, the first thing you always have to talk about is cash reserve. 3 to 6 months of after-tax expenses, what you keep on the sideline. So your roof collapses, you end up in a hospital, you have to pay this deductible, you need new windows, whatever it is, whatever unanticipated expense you have, the precipitation, you have stacked chips on the side to pay for those things, and thus you avoid debt.